Hey friends, we're here today with Fred Kanney, who's going to tell you his story. See a shirt? It says, I have a story. And the reason we're doing this whole thing is because everyone has a story. And today you're going to get to hear his story. Now, his name's Fred Kanney, but you don't know him as Fred Kanney. I'm pretty sure if you've met him, you know him as Smiley. And that's why he's called Smiley, is because he smiles all the time. And he smiles because of what God has done in his life. He's got an incredible testimony about how God saved him from drugs and alcohol and more. I'm going to let you tell your story and how we all could learn about God's faithfulness and how he can redeem anyone and everybody. And thank you, even with everything that you've been through, how you are willing to share this story with us.
I remember taking my first drink at the age of 5. My dad and his buddies were out in the front yard drinking beer. They gave me half a beer. They laughed and thought it would be funny. By the age of 16, I had my first DWI. My drug and alcohol use got worse. I was going to change my life and stop drinking and drugging, but that didn't happen. Instead, sick and tired of life, I decided to end it. I went to 7-Eleven and bought a 12-pack of beer and a pack of razor blades. I knew if I was drunk, I'd be crazy enough to do it. They found me on the front porch of my condo, and they were able to save me. I guess God was with me. All that's behind me now. Now I'm a child of God, and I believe in Jesus Christ. I knew there was a God, but I hadn't found him, I hadn't gotten close to him, I hadn't got to know him, I didn't have a relationship with him, because AA teaches you about a higher power. So I met Rife Lesher. I was walking in the front door one morning, and he said, we're doing a Bible study. He said, won't you join me on Tuesday nights? And he said, yeah, I'll do that. So I got there Tuesday nights, and it was just him and I.
We is a plural term.
So that was his plan the whole time, to teach me one-on-one, to mentor me one-on-one. And he taught me his 40 years he was a preacher for 40 years, and he taught me everything he knew in like a year. Pastor was talking about what God wants you to do, what God wants you to do with your life, and I prayed about it, and Celebrate Recovery popped into my head. I started Celebrate Recovery. My wife at the time was helping me out. Going through the church and through the elders, they were like, we don't want that here because, you have sex offenders in that program. You have this, you have that. And Rife went up to bat for me with the elders. And he's like, the people that are attending those meetings, he said, that's not the ones you have to worry about. He said, the ones you have to worry about are the ones out there sitting on the pews beside you, not telling you what's going on. And he was always there for me. In 2013, I got ordained as a deacon, which unfortunately Rife didn't get to see me get ordained. He was died of cancer.
You told me that as Rife was dying, what did he tell you about Celebrate Recovery?
On his deathbed, he told me he would pray for me and my Celebrate Recovery. And I was like, you're dying.
Right.
And you're going to pray for me.
Wow.
I should be the one praying for you.
Yeah. So Smiley, let's try to sum up what you've shared with me, okay? You started drinking when you were 5, and let's sum up your whole career, your drinking and drugging career. You were in 21 automobile accidents total, right? I know you didn't share all of them today, but that was 21 automobile accidents. You were in jail. Do you know how many times?
Numerous times.
Yeah. You had 8 DWIs. You were in multiple institutions, and you tried to commit suicide. Since then, you've been sober for 30 years. And you said you hadn't hit anybody in 29 years, right?
It's progress, not perfection.
That's an incredible story. What are some favorite Bible verses that have kind of been anchors for you?
Colossians 3, Isaiah 61.
Yeah. It's good passages. Now, you've got a whole new ministry now. You've told me about your Broken Chains Club and the rags that you hand out and all of this kind of stuff. You still active in all of that?
Yeah, very much so. It's motorcycle missionary.
Wow.
We go out into the one percenters and try to bring them to Jesus. I used to be afraid to talk to anybody about Jesus because I thought they would think I was a Jesus freak, which I am.
Yeah.
But and would just walk away from me and not listen. But with this Broken Chains ministry and the patch on my back, if I stop at a gas station, people come up to me and say, "Hey, what's Broken Chains?" And I'm like, just starts my mouth running.
Yep.
I can talk to them about Broken Chains. We have these rags we hand out called Serenity rags. They have the Serenity prayer on. And last year I handed out over 450 Serenity rags. In every rag I hand out, I either share about Jesus, or there's people out there who know a lot more about Jesus than I do, and I'm very open-minded. I listen.
Yeah. Wow. So, Smiley, what I love about your story is, what the enemy meant for evil, God is now using for good. Like a lot of times we think all of that's, God can redeem anything. And the way that he has taken your life story and turned it into a ministry for other people who are still where you used to be is remarkable. And it's an honor now to be just kind of worshiping with you and seeing how God's using you today. Well, Smiley's just finished sharing his story with us, and you watching or listening, you probably have your own story. And we'd love to hear it. And if you'd like to share it, you can go to our website, perbap.org/connect, and there's a button there that says, I have a story. And you're not committing to do anything else, but just share that story with us, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I believe everybody has a story, just like Smiley's.
Thanks for letting me share.